Good morning, viewers at home. Welcome to the program, SuperDawn. I am Vera Super with you on this edition of the program. Well, today we're going to be looking through a very important topic. Every day I keep saying important. Which one is not important anyway? But we're looking at security challenges in Nigeria, and we want to look at retired General Danjuma's comment that has caused a lot of crisis, bantering. He left, right, center. We're going to look at it together because it's on record that Nigeria has witnessed many drastic and frantic insecurity challenges. That's on record. And if you look at history, Nigeria is the African biggest country. And if you say someone is the biggest, you expect a lot from that kind of country. But I don't know what to say right now. Your comment, your contribution will help out in today's edition. We want to look at Danjuma's comment, General retired. Some people have said, hey, that's the right direction. Other people are saying, why is he talking now? And the question is, what time is right to talk? We're going to look at it this morning, and I don't want you to be biased. I want you to be sincere because it's our country and we're looking for a solution in Nigeria. We will treat that. The phone lines will be open for you to call, make your contributions. Away from that, what we usually do on this show is to go through the papers, read the papers, and allow you call in and to make your contributions. That will happen. We also have Christ Embassy. They have their program, Zone 3. Well, they'll tell us more about the event for the weekend. Easter is just here around the corner, and loads of events will take place during the Easter. So they'll come here, tell us their plans, and they came yesterday. Some of the zones from Christ Embassy came. They've been coming, and they will come and tell us, well, how you will enjoy your weekend, which is the Easter period. Well, it's going to be interesting, trust me, but I want you to be part of it. If you're not getting through to us, keep trying. You might just get through in case want the network itself. But first, we'll go on this break. When we come back, we'll take some of the stories. Let's go on a break. We'll be right back.
Bad breath, also known as halitosis or phthisis, affects an estimated 25% of people globally. There are a number of potential causes of halitosis, but the vast majority come down to oral hygiene. Halitosis can cause significant worry, embarrassment, and anxiety, but generally it is relatively easy to remedy. The most common cause of halitosis is bad oral hygiene. If particles of food are left in the mouth, they break down by bacteria producing sulfur compounds. And there are a number of common causes of bad breath, which include smoking, tooth decay, and alcohol consumption. Bad breath in children is often due to a trapped item in the nasal cavity. Bad breath is a common problem that can cause significant psychological distress. There are a number of potential causes and treatments of halitosis, which is the third most common reason that people seek dental care after tooth decay and gum disease. The specific odor of breath varies depending on the cause of the problem. It is best to ask a close friend or relative to gauge your mouth odor, as it is very difficult to access it yourself. If no one is at hand, one way of checking the odor is to lick your wrist, leave it to dry, and then smell it. If it smells bad, there is a strong chance your breath also smells bad. Some individuals are concerned about their breath even though they may have little or no mouth odor. This condition is called halitophobia and can lead to obsessive mouth cleansing behavior. Major potential causes of bad breath include tobacco products causing their own types of mouth odor, breakdown of food particles stuck in the teeth. Some foods such as onions and garlic can also cause bad breath after they are digested. Their breakdown products are carried in the blood to the lungs where they can affect the breath. Dry mouth is another cause, as saliva naturally cleans the mouth. If the mouth is naturally dry, but due to a specific disease such as xerostomia, odors can build up. Dental hygiene, which requires brushing and flossing, ensure the removal of small particles of food that can build up and slowly break.
Welcome back. Well, there's a newspaper review segment, and the first story this paper I want to take this morning is the New Telegraph. Let me take a milder story. This says, residents flee as monkeys invade Lagos community. Many residents of Soluyi, Sosonya, at Bagada area of Lagos State have fled the community over reported invasion of monkeys. Some of the residents yesterday said they could no longer withstand this situation. Monkeys in Lagos? Okay. The residents, according to the news agency of Nigeria, NAN, called on the state government to save the community from the trouble, saying that the animals forced their ways into their rooms, destroying windows and doors, nets, foodstuff, and other items. What kind of monkeys are those? Where are they coming in from? I decided to take that story this morning. We also have here PDP to Nigerians. We are sorry for our mistakes. And the writer says, Body George pledges obsolete loyalty to Secondus. I need to read this. We were sanctioned by Nigeria at the polls in 2015. We apologize that we have made mistakes. We have learned our lessons, and we are ready to begin on a new slate. Experience is the best teacher. No other party has it. Secondus Uche, the PDP national chairman. We also have in the papers, Tinubu absent as Buhari presides over APC caucus meeting. Where went he? Anyway, he was absent. Dapchi, Northern Christians demand release of Leah. We also have in the papers, Joy Angas as MMM founder dies. Does that mean all those monies is gone? Anyway, Buhari says Nigeria's economy, politics turbulent under me. President Muhammad Buhari yesterday described Nigeria's political and economic journey in the last 3 years as very turbulent one. The president stated while inaugurating National Food Security Council at the presidential villa in Abuja. The council, which constituted last week, is being chaired by President Buhari himself, with the governor of Kebbi State, Senator Atiku Bagudu, as the vice chairman. Well, you need to get hold of the papers this morning to read more, but I'll take this last one from the New Telegraph. Nigerians' poorest, richest, indebted state. 31 states can survive without federal allocation. You want to know those states? Please get hold of the New Telegraph. Away from that, we'll pick another one. We have the Vanguard this morning. Okay, also same story. We're sorry for our misdeeds. PDP begs Nigerians. And the writer says, forgive but allow them stay in poverty. APC, Body George in U10 pledges loyalty to Secondus. This writer says Jonathan alleges Mayor campaign against him. We have this in the Vanguard this morning. Why we oppose reordering of 2019 election sequence, AGF, INEC tells court. From the army this morning, military aiding headsmen against us, Taraba resident lament. And the army says, it's not true. That's not true. The residents are saying military aiding headsmen against us. But the army is saying that's not true. Who are we to believe? Your investment in health education not enough. Bill Gates slammed federal government again. Still that story we took in the new Telegraph. Resident flee as monkey invade Lagos communities. We also have in the papers this morning, court scratches EFCC's declaration of oil magnate as wanted person. I keep saying here, before you begin to tell or bring it up to the public, I think EFCC to need to do more investigation. I do not like the idea of saying this man is wanted, this man is a thief. At the end of the day, the court is saying, no, he's not. I don't like that. But we also have here patient Jonathan's frozen $15.5 million. And here he's saying, I'm not aware ex-First Lady was PAMSEC, do DAFA. Nigeria, Swiss government signed MOU on return of illegal acquired assets. I think that's what we can take. Okay, we have this one. We've taken that before in the New Telegraph, but it's in the Vanguard. Nigeria turbulent under me in the last 3 years, Buhari. Away from that, we want to look at some stories in the Punch. The Punch newspaper this morning says, Jonathan's comment. Okay, sorry, I take that again. Danjuma's comment. Well, that's unfortunately, we're going to handle that in our main discussion this morning. Federal government, we've got reports of soldiers misconduct, but none from Taraba. And this writer from Wike says, I will fast pray for Danjuma. We have this, Northern Christian demand Sharibu's release. Please let that girl just come. She's important to us. If you follow that story about this girl that refused to denounce Christ, and she was detained or refused to be released because of that, that story is touching. It's not a must, you must be a Muslim anyway. Just release. And the president has said he's going to do everything. He's going to try to bring the girl. And I pray that they release this girl. She's a teenager. She doesn't need to go through this kind of, I don't know, how she'll be feeling. They release orders and she's just there. I just pray that they will not tamper with her. We have this one, Nigeria's journey in the last 3 years turbulent, says Buhari, and signs agreement with Switzerland on loot repatriation. TSA, federal government renegotiate fees with service provider. Kashimu writes to INEC over Ogun PDP ESCO. We have ex-South African President Zuma faces draft charges on April 6th. National Assembly begins public hearing on 2018 budget today. Tinubu absent from APC National Caucus meeting. Suspected ritual killers den uncovered in Kwara. It's a movie location. Suspect said it's not a den. It's not a, but a movie location. Suspect. Aviation security personnel to set to carry arms, and I hope that they'll be trained before doing that. We also have this. Let's take some stories from the Daily Trust this morning. APC, INEC to take final decision Oyegun today. And the writer says Tinubu absent at the caucus meeting. National Executive Committee of the ruling All Progressive Congress APC is expected to take a final stand tonight on the tenure of the current party executives. The tenure of members of the National Working Committee, headed by Chief John Oyegun, which is built to expire on June 30th, was last month extended by 1 year. The party's convention is supposed to hold before June 30th, but this is now uncertain with the extension of the tenure of the NWC members. The development has polarized the party. Get hold of the Daily Trust this morning. Yes, assets recovery, Buhari seal deal with Switzerland. 2019, PDP meets presidential aspirants, set stage for campaign. Election sequence, court sets April 25th for judgment. 11 IDPs die in Iran fire. Ghost workers, federal government saved $208 billion in 2 years. How I wish that will begin to feel these mornings, in our economy. We also have this King Killer's Children by Funke Igbemode. You need to get hold of the papers this morning and read more. Well, we'll go on this break now, and when we come back, we'll have a Christ Embassy zone in Lagos come to tell us about their event. We'll be right back.
SuperDawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen television. Let your voice be heard. Join us.
Bad breath, also known as halitosis or fetororis, affects an estimated 25% of people globally. There are a number of potential causes of halitosis, but the vast majority come down to oral hygiene. Halitosis can cause significant worry, embarrassment, and anxiety, but generally it is relatively easy to remedy. The most common cause of halitosis is bad oral hygiene. If particles of food are left in the mouth, they break down by bacteria produces sulfur compounds, and there are a number of common causes of bad breath, which include smoking, tooth decay, and alcohol consumption. Bad breath in children is often due to a trapped item in the nasal cavity. Bad breath is a common problem that can cause significant psychological distress. There are a number of potential causes and treatments of halitosis, which is the third most common reason that people seek dental care after tooth decay and gum disease. The specific odor of breath varies depending on the cause of the problem. It is best to ask a close friend or relative to gauge your mouth odor, as it is very difficult to access it yourself. If no one is at hand, one way of checking the odor is to lick your wrist, leave it to dry, and then smell it. If it smells bad, there is a strong chance your breath also smells bad. Some individuals are concerned about their breath even though they may have little or no mouth odor. This condition is called halitophobia and can lead to obsessive mouth cleansing behavior. Major potential causes of bad breath include tobacco products causing their own types of mouth odor, breakdown of food particles stuck in the teeth. Some foods such as onions and garlic can also cause bad breath. After they are digested, their breakdown products are carried in the blood to the lungs where they can affect the breath. Dry mouth is another cause, as saliva naturally cleans the mouth. If the mouth is naturally dry, but due to a specific disease such as xerostomia, odors can build up. Dental hygiene, which requires brushing and flossing, ensure the removal of small particles of food that can build up and slowly break down, producing odor. A form of bacteria called plague builds up if brushing is not regular. This plague can irritate the gums and cause pockets to build up between the teeth and gums called periodontitis. Crash diets, which is fasting and low carbohydrate eating programs, can produce halitosis. This is due to the breakdown of fats producing chemicals called ketones. These ketones have a stronger aroma. Certain drug medications can also reduce saliva and therefore increase mouth odor. Other drugs can produce others as they break down and release chemicals in the breath, such as nitrates used to treat angina, some chemotherapy chemicals, and some tranquilizers, such as phenothiazines. Individuals who take vitamin supplements in large doses can also be prone to bad breath. Mouth, nose, and throat condition effects sometimes produce small bacteria covered stones that form on the tonsils at the back of the throat and produce a mouth odor. Also, infections or inflammations in the nose, throat, or sinuses can cause halitosis, which is bad breath, especially in children. It can be caused if they have a foreign body lodged in their nasal cavity. Some cancers, liver failures, and other metabolic diseases can cause halitosis due to specific mixes of chemicals that they produce. Gastroesophageal reflux disease can cause bad breath due to the regular reflux of stomach acids. Major treatment for bad breath include brushing at least twice a day, but preferably after each meal. Flossing reduces the buildup of food particles and plaque from between the teeth. Brushing only cleans around 60% of the surface of the tooth. Cleaning dentures of anything that goes into your mouth. Dentures, bridge, and mouth guard should be cleaned as recommended on a daily basis. Cleaning prevents the bacteria from building up and being transferred back into the mouth. Changing toothbrush every 2 to 3 months is also important for similar reasons. Brushing your tongue removes bacteria, food, and dead cells commonly stored up on the tongue, especially in smokers or those with a dry mouth particularly. Sometimes a tongue
Welcome back. This segment is for Christ Embassy Zone 3. We had two fantastic girls yesterday inviting us for their program this weekend. And today we have some guests again, 2 guys coming to talk about Christ Embassy Zone 3, Christ Embassy Lagos Zone 3 event this weekend. Same event with other sets of people. And this morning, I want to say good morning to Barnabas Idausa. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
And also Glenn Udumaga. Good morning to you, Glenn.
Good morning.
Good morning, and welcome to Super Screen Television.
Thank you.
Yes, yesterday we had people from your zone, 2 young girls, and today we are having you again for the event. I'm going to pretend as though I didn't see those girls yesterday.
Okay.
And I must confess that I enjoyed staying with them on set. But I hope I will enjoy you guys too this morning.
Sure.
Okay, tell us about the event.
Well, Grooves is a program being organized by the people of the members of Christ Embassy Lagos Zone 3. And we're targeting the youth in our society, the youth in our community. You see, in the ministry we are in, Christ Embassy, our man of God has given us the vision to go into every man's world, reaching everybody, so nobody's exempted. And Grooves, with Grooves, we're reaching out to the young people in our environment, in Lagos. So it's going to be a time of so much fun. We're going to be coming together. We're going to be holy-gorizing, as our pastor would always say.
I like that word.
So we're going to be holy-gorizing. We're going to be shouting. We're going to be jumping. It's not a time to just come and sit down and be quiet. We're going to be jumping. There's going to be lots of noise in the venue. We're going to be doing a lot. And I said earlier, we're reaching out to the youth. And we're going to be giving them a message. by a man of God, Reverend
Okay,
Chris.
let me ask, Client, why the youth? Why are you centering it on? Why the youth?
Well, because we are the future. We are the future, basically. So there's nobody that affects our community like the young people. And you know, Nigeria's population, over 60% of Nigeria's population are young people. So why not to the youth? So yes.
So that's why you want to. Yes, he talked about.
Yeah, Pastor Chris has
yes.
interest in young people specifically, and there's the best way to reach them is through things they love: music, fun, you know, games. So that's why Pastor Chris targets.
Okay, so you're doing this because you were affected.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit how his words, his messages affected your life?
Well, when I started going to church was boring. You know, as a young person, you just go for sermon and then you go back home. But Pastor Chris added a little bit of fun in it. You know, there was an opportunity for me to express myself. I was in a dance group, so because it was fun for me, I could invite my friends. It was interesting to all of us, so that's
Is it because you're in a dance group? What about the word?
Yes, yes.
Transforming.
Yes, the word, because you are able to express yourself at first. So that means your heart is open to receive whatever comes from Pastor Chris. And then Pastor Chris gives you words that you know you understand, words that are basic to you. So I could relate with those words. That's why.
Okay, Barnabas, now that the event is this weekend, what date again?
On the 31st, that is this Saturday, 2 p.m., the practice speech of the National Stadium Surulere will be there. I want to see you there as well.
You're inviting people there, yes. Let's talk about what will excite them in this program. What is going to excite them? What are the plans?
Well, we have so much lined up that we'll be dishing out to everyone who will be there that day. And some of those things are we're going to be having some of our Believers Love World Music All-Stars. They're going to be there live. They're going to be there to fellowship and jump and shout with us on that day. And also there are going to be lots of games. We're going to have a lot of freebies for the people that will be coming there on that day. So it's not a time to just come and not expect anything. There's a whole lot we'll be giving to you that day, and I'm just going to keep some right here.
So you say, because I like to play tennis, I like table tennis.
Yes.
If I come there, will I play it while
yes, well,
in that environment?
We have so many games. You have so many. You're going to be table tennis. We're going to have different kind of games there on that day. We're going to have lots and lots of games on that day. So it's a time when you come with your families and your friends. It's Easter, come on. So we're not expecting you to stay in your house that day watching TV. Come have fun with us. It's an Easter concert. So there's a whole lot. Apart from the music, beautiful music we'll be listening to that day. We're going to be having games. We're going to be having family games as well, apart from individual games. So it's a whole lot.
So you can come with your family?
Sure.
So have you invited people for this event?
Yes, I've invited.
I think you need to face your camera so that your friends will know that, yes, you invited them.
Yes, I invited lots of my friends and they promised that they were going to come. So I've given them a lowdown on exactly. I've actually invited them for our programs before, and they had fun. So they're just calling me, "Hey, Clint, what's up? Can we come for this program? We heard about groups. He didn't even tell us about it. Can we come for it?" I said, "Hey, come on, you can't come for it." So
is it the first time this is happening in your zone?
Yes, for grooves. This is the first time we're having grooves. Well, we expect that after this edition, it's going to be a continuous thing in the zone.
When I heard the word grooves, I begin to wonder. Is it also going to be dancing all thing? Because I like to shake, you know.
Yeah, you're going to be shaking and that day is going to be groovy.
I told those girls yesterday that I won't miss it at all.
Yeah, nobody should miss it. Everybody, mom, dad, uncles, aunties, brothers, sisters, everybody should be there.
If they're coming by 2, what time do you think it's going to end? Because young people, they're so energetic. They don't want to end a program with music artists coming in. What time do you think? And the preparation for people to get there?
Yes, we have transportation mediums being arranged. We're going to have buses at different strategic points in our environment, in our catchment area. So we're going to be giving those informations to you, and you just locate one of those bus and transportation schemes that will be taking you to the venue for free. You're not paying any
so you just go into the bus stop and just sit there and enjoy the seats, the rides to the
Everything.
stadium.
We'll-
Will Pastor Femi be there? You don't know Pastor.
Yes,
Femi that back me.
definitely. He will be there. Our highly esteemed zonal director, Pastor Femi Otenik-Bagbe, is going to be there live. And I want to thank him so much for giving us the teens ministry to organize this program, for giving us the opportunity to plan and organize this program on behalf of the zone. Thank you so much, Pastor.
So
We
this
love you so
program
much.
was organized by the team's ministry.
Yes.
My goodness, I can imagine what it's going to turn out to be.
So much fun.
Because all those music stars, can you give us some names? Because people know some of them.
We have testimony. We have BMW.
Okay, he did something. Can you do the way he does? I think I've listened to his track.
Yeah, the Agara.
The Gara.
Yeah,
Gara, 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 gara. On Saturday, I'll be.
It's coming
No, but
your
I need to learn that it's gara, gara. I like the way he.
Yeah.
Igara, and your flames, they're
Your
gonna
Flames,
be there.
okay.
They're gonna the Believers Love World Rap Nation will be there. Ellie J will be there. Louis Megwa will be there.
Okay, Rap Nation. I think, okay. Some Jams is part of the rap,
Yes,
isn't it?
some
Okay.
Jams.
Is it coming up?
Yes,
Yes,
it's
they're
gonna be
all
there
coming.
live. Protec is gonna be there. Louis Megwa, they're gonna be there. So it's a full package on that day.
Because some people just like don't like music. Some people like drama. Are they going to be?
Yes, we have not just music. I said earlier, not just music. We're going to be having games. We're going to be having drama as well. So different presentations, different ministrations will be coming up.
I can't wait to be there. We need to reiterate the time again. You need to tell people the time again.
2 p.m. on the 31st of March. That is this Saturday at the practice pitch of the National Stadium, Surulere. 2 p.m.
Do you want to say something to viewers out there?
I
Young
can't
ones
wait.
out there,
I
parents?
can't wait.
Because some parents might not just want to allow their kids saying, hey, you're going to dance. You need to tell them what else they can gain. The kids will gain, their children will gain for attending such a program.
Yeah, you have the opportunity to meet young people like you and get inspired by what Jesus came to do for us on earth. So yes, that's the story.
Can you tell me more about that? I wanted to wrap you up, but when you said what Jesus came to do for you on earth, tell us what you think he came to do.
Well, Jesus came to give us salvation. So that's special. He came to give us victory. He came to give us prosperity. He came to give us peace. You know, he came to give us everything that, you know, good life entails, and the eternal life of God, the life of righteousness, the nature of God. So yes.
So we must wrap up now. Final word from Barnabas Idausa.
Yeah, I want to see you there. Don't be at home. There's no other place you'd rather be than the practice pitch of the National Stadium, Surulere, by 2 p.m. I want to see you there. Don't miss it. I'll be looking out for you on that day.
Okay.
I can't wait to see you.
Kelvin Udumaga, we need to ga. Okay, that's all we can take today. I want to thank Barnabas Idausa and
Thank you
Ken
very much.
Udumaga from Christ Embassy Lagos Zone 3 for coming on this edition.
Thank you very
Wow,
much.
this is not weekend yet, and I'm beginning to feel like it's weekend. Well, thank you for coming. We'll go on this break now, and when we come back, SuperDawn will continue. Please stay with us.
SuperDawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen television. Let your voice be heard. Join us.
Welcome back. We're not done with Christ Embassy Lagos Zone 3 yet. We have another guest from Christ Embassy, a young girl, lady here looking good. Well, we have Vera Ibe here with us. My namesake, good morning to you.
Good morning, ma'am.
Can you beat it? First time having my namesake here on set with me. Good morning to you. So tell us about the event.
Well, Grooves is a youth program for teenagers in Lagos Zone 3, in Lagos catchment. So it's going to be a program where youth comes together to have fun and just celebrate Jesus Christ's resurrection. It's going to be a fun, packed event. We have so many things happening on that day, and it's going to be really interesting. And no youth should miss it. Every youth should be there because it's going to be very
I'm feeling it. I feel like, hey, what's going to happen? If I tell you where I'm coming from, you will say, please, don't go to your own event and come to us. But looking at the way the event is going to turn out, what do you think? Is it going to turn out right?
Yes, we're going to turn around, right? Because this event, the main purpose is to win souls. So at the end of the day, we want to have souls coming out on that day. So it's not only going to be fun, we're going to have souls coming out on that day, and we're going to have like new converts. So this main purpose is to win the youth, because some of our youth are already lost, so we need to bring them back to Christ. That's the main purpose for this.
Okay, all of this dancing, and maybe I will be doing some lawn tennis or table tennis. All of it is to win people's souls to Christ.
Yes, that's the main purpose for it.
Do you talk about Christ to people?
Yes.
What do you say to them?
I just preach the new gospel to them. I tell them what Christ came to do for them here on earth and what they will enjoy if they came to Christ and if they accepted Him and His love for them. Because Christ is everything a youth needs at this time. We don't need all the worldly things. We need Christ's love. We need to be in Christ. We need to enjoy Christ's coming, because He came for us. He came for the youth. He came for the future leaders, because we are the future leaders. So He came for us.
Can you tell us your experiences while you're trying to, what you've seen in some youth that makes you say, hey, you must come to God? What have you seen? Tell us your experiences.
Okay. What I've seen in some youths, they lack self-confidence in themselves. So for that, they try to do the worldly things to bring that self-confidence, but they don't have self-confidence.
What do you mean worldly things?
Like
I don't understand.
Their dressing, the way they talk, the way they behave. So because they don't know who they are in Christ, or who they are, or what Christ can do for them, they try to act like the world. So they don't understand who they are. So, but when you're in Christ, but when they come to Christ, they will understand where they are and who they are in Christ. And they will know that they don't have to put all those fake expressions to show themselves. They know that they can do things on their own. They can come out on their own. They don't have to be smoking or drinking or taking lots of hard substances to express themselves. Because when you're in Christ, you have free expression of yourself. You can express yourself anywhere, anyhow. You have boldness, because Christ it gave us boldness to talk freely and do His work.
So do you know how to dance?
No, I'm not a good dancer.
You're not a good dancer.
I'm not a good dancer.
So what will you be doing that day? Because everybody has his own to do that day.
I'm one of the officials, so I'll just be like, I'm going to be there with, when we call out the altar call, I'll be there to organize the people, where they'll stay, where they'll stand, and lead some people to Christ.
Okay.
That's just my work.
Who are you expecting, one of the artists that is your favorite?
Testimony.
Testimony again? Will I be doing the Gaga dance again? You want me to be doing this? Is it because of the way he does this his hands? Can you just show me how he does this?
Like this?
Like this. Okay, so you're making me do it a second time again. So testimony. So you're expecting him to come and perform that day.
And the Believers of God Rap Nation.
The Rap Nation. You like rap?
Yes, I like rap.
Really?
Yes.
What of Flames?
Your Flames?
Your Flames.
Yeah, I also like Your Flames too.
So they will be coming.
They will be coming because we don't want this to end at all. We don't want it to end.
You don't want it to end. Okay. So they will be coming.
Yes.
So that it will end. Anyway, it must come to an end on Saturday.
But it's going to be a continuous program in our zone. It's not
Okay.
going to end on the grooves. We're going to have lots of programs. More are coming up. We have so many plans for programs in the future. We're going to have so many programs in Lagos Zone 3 after this. It's not going to just be grooves and end there.
So, well, from this program, this event, loads of things will come up from there.
From Lagos Zone 3. So watch out for Lagos Zone 3 because we are coming big. Lagos Zone 3.
Okay, it's happening in Lagos Zone 3. Yes, final word from you. We must wrap up this segment now. Yeah, what do you want to say to your friends out there?
Okay, my friends, please come for Youth for Grooves 2018. It's going to be lots of fun. Please come and come with friends. Don't come alone. Come with friends. Come with your family members. Come with your colleagues at work. Just come with people because it's going to be a grooving time. We're going to groove and it's going to be a grooving time. So please come and have fun with us at the National Stadium by 2 p.m. The practice speech. Thank you guys so much. Love you guys.
We love you too. Thank you, Vera Ibe, for coming on this edition. Vera is from Christ Embassy Lagos Zone 3 and wants us to come and do the gang. That's what it is. Okay, thank you for coming on this segment of the program. Well, we'll go on a break. When we come back, SuperDawn will continue. Please stay with us.
SuperDawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen Television. Let your voice be heard. Join us.
Bad breath, also known as halitosis or fetoris, affects an estimated 25% of people globally. There are a number of potential causes of halitosis, but the vast majority come down to oral hygiene. Halitosis can cause significant worry, embarrassment, and anxiety, but generally it is relatively easy to remedy. The most common cause of halitosis is bad oral hygiene. If particles of food are left in the mouth, they break down by bacteria producing sulfur compounds, and there are a number of common causes of bad breath, which include smoking, tooth decay, and alcohol consumption. Bad breath in children is often due to a trapped item in the nasal cavity. Bad breath is a common problem that can cause significant psychological distress. There are a number of potential causes and treatments of halitosis, which is the third most common reason that people seek dental care after tooth decay and gum disease. The specific odor of breath varies depending on the cause of the problem. It is best to ask a close friend or relative to gauge your mouth odor, as it is very difficult to access it yourself. If no one is at hand, one way of checking the odor is to lick your wrist, leave it to dry, and then smell it. If it smells bad, there is a strong chance your breath also smells bad. Some individuals are concerned about their breath even though they may have little or no mouth odor. This condition is called halitophobia and can lead to obsessive mouth cleansing behavior. Major potential causes of bad breath include tobacco products causing their own types of mouth odor, breakdown of food particles stuck in the teeth. Some foods such as onions and garlic can also cause bad breath after they are digested. Their breakdown products are carried in the blood to the lungs where they can affect the breath. Dry mouth is another cause, as saliva naturally cleans the mouth. If the mouth is naturally dry, but due to a specific disease such as xerostomia, odors can build up. Dental hygiene, which requires brushing and flossing, ensure the removal of small particles of food that can build up and slowly break down, producing odor. A form of bacteria called plaque builds up if brushing is not regular. This plaque can irritate the gums and cause pockets of build-up between the teeth and gums called periodontitis. Crash diets, which is fasting and low carbohydrate eating programs, can produce halitosis. This is due to the breakdown of fats producing chemicals called ketones. These ketones have a stronger aroma. Certain drug medications can also reduce saliva and therefore increase mouth odor. Other drugs can produce others as they break down and release chemicals in the breath, such as nitrates used to treat angina, some chemotherapy chemicals, and some tranquilizers, such as phenothiazines. Individuals who take vitamin supplements in large doses can also be prone to bad breath, mouth, nose, and throat condition effects. Sometimes produce small bacteria covered stones that form on the tonsils at the back of the throat and produce a mouth odor. Also, infections or inflammations in the nose, throat, or sinuses can cause halitosis, which is bad breath, especially in children. It can be caused if they have a foreign body lodged in their nasal cavity. Some cancers, liver failures, and other metabolic diseases can cause halitosis due to specific mixes of chemicals that they produce. Gastroesophageal reflux disease can cause bad breath due to the regular reflux of stomach acids. Major treatment for bad breath include brushing at least twice a day, but preferably after each meal. Flossing reduces the buildup of food particles and plaque from between the teeth. Brushing only cleans around 60% of the surface of the tooth. Cleaning dentures of anything that goes into your mouth. Dentures breed bacteria called plaque, builds up if brushing is not regular. This plaque can irritate the gums and cause pockets of buildup between the teeth and gums called periodontitis. Crash diets, which is fasting and low carbohydrate eating programs, can produce halitosis. This is due to the breakdown of fats producing chemicals called ketones. These ketones have a stronger aroma. Certain drug medications can also reduce saliva and therefore increase mouth odor. Other drugs can produce others as they break down and release chemicals in the breath, such as nitrates used to treat angina, some chemotherapy chemicals, and some tranquilizers, such as phenothiazines. Individuals who take vitamin supplements in large doses can also be prone to bad breath, mouth, nose, and throat condition effects. Sometimes produce small bacteria covered stones that form on the tonsils at the back of the throat and produce a mouth odor. Also, infections or inflammations in the nose, throat, or sinuses can cause halitosis, which is bad breath, especially in children. It can be caused if they have a foreign body lodged in their nasal cavity. Some cancers, liver failures, and other metabolic diseases can cause halitosis due to specific mixes of chemicals that they produce. Gastroesophageal reflux disease can cause bad breath due to the regular reflux of stomach acids. Major treatment for bad breath include brushing at least twice a day, but preferably after each meal. Flossing reduces the buildup of food particles and plaque from between the teeth. Brushing only cleans around 60% of the surface of the tooth. Cleaning dentures of anything that goes into your mouth. Dentures, bridge, and mouth guard should be cleaned as recommended on a daily basis. Cleaning prevents the bacteria from building up and being transferred back into the mouth. Changing toothbrush every 2 to 3 months is also important for similar reasons. Brushing your tongue removes bacteria, food, and dead cells commonly stored up on the tongue, especially in smokers or those with a dry mouth particularly. Sometimes a tongue scraper can be useful. Avoid the dry mouth by drinking plenty of water. Avoid alcohol and tobacco, both of which dehydrate the mouth. Chewing gum or licking a sweet, preferably sugar-free, can help stimulate the production of saliva. Taking a conscious look at one's diet by avoiding onions, garlic, and spicy food, sugary foods are also linked to bad breath. Reduce coffee and alcohol consumption. Eating breakfast that includes rough foods can also help clean the back of the tongue. If bad breath persists, however, it is advisable to visit a doctor to check for underlying causes. Remember, keeping the mouth hydrated can reduce mouth odor.
Welcome back. Well, in the morning we talked about our topic that we'll be treating, and we said you're going to open the phone lines for you to call, make your contributions. We're looking at security challenges, trying to look at General Danjuma's retired comment that has been causing a lot. But before then, let's look at the challenges, security challenges we're facing in this country. We have different challenges, and we know the Nigerians have gone out, Nigerian army have gone for peacekeeping operations, and they've been successful in that. So why do we have the challenge, or why are we having challenges of security in Nigeria? With us this morning, we have a security consultant, Achibon. Achibon, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on the program.
Good morning. Good to have you too. Well, we're looking at this crisis in Nigeria right now, in security. And if I take your mind back, I'm taking it back during the time where Boko Haram terrorized the people. And away from Boko Haram, we begin to see where Fulani headsmen, some headsmen begin to harass, intimidate, and begin to kill people. Looking at all of these challenges, it's not today. Government has come and gone, and we still have these challenges. What do you think is the problem here?
Well, quite a number of things that we could take a look at. For me, my own analysis is the fact that there seems to be a hidden agenda that is being promoted by certain factions who have taken advantage of the fact that they are the ones who have political power. And so you find out that the authorities tend to turn a blind eye to the present happenings. Yes, as you noted, the challenges didn't start at this particular time. But if, again, you look at history, you would notice that certain agitations have taken place in the past where, as a result of, should I use the word, the people who hold power, you find out that kinsmen, relatives, tend to take advantage of that to the detriment of some other tribes or the rest of Nigerians, as it were. That is where I place the present happenings. The Fulani headsmen who have been committing these atrocities, as it were, just looking at it on the surface without necessarily going deep into it, are taking advantage of the fact that one of their own is in power. Do not forget that some years ago, when they were attacked, I think it was in Oyo State then, the present president led a delegation to see the governor and protest.
Yes.
Now, for that kind of a situation that had taken place, put side by side with what is happening presently, you would see that it is the fact that there is a certain agenda that is being pursued, even though it has been in existence for a while.
Are you saying that the government is turning their eyes away from the reality with what you've just said. Is that what you're saying?
Now, when you say the government is made up of people.
Yes.
They're made up of individuals.
The present administration.
Yes, agreed. But the present administration has key officials who, now take for instance, there have been complaints in recent times about the lopsidedness of the appointments of this present administration, where you have a majority of key officials come from a particular region. It would then mean that whatever decisions are being taken would favor such a region. And because you use the word in quotes, government refers to the administration, but this administration is made up of certain individuals. Even where you have a minority of people who come from different sections of the country, but their voice might not be heard because the other section has a majority.
And that causes what is happening in Nigeria. But let me take you to what the former defense minister, that's Theophilus Danjuma, just said during the convocation ceremony in Taraba State, where he said that the military and the army are colluded with killers attached to Nigeria. Do you trust what he said?
He used the word collude.
Yes.
Again, he said the armed forces.
Yes.
Not the army.
Yes, the armed forces.
So, okay. But again, the armed forces is made up of individuals. It's the same thing. Now, for a person with the personality of T.Y. Danjuma,
yes,
to come out to make such a statement, it says a lot, given that he's a former chief of army staff and he's also a former minister of defense. It means that he knows the workings of government, as it were, when it comes to taking decisions concerning certain things, most especially or particularly in the area of security. If that be the case, now, I watch events keenly. Let me remind you something that was in the news about 3-4 weeks ago. It was reported that T.Y. Danjuma made a visit to Niger State, the hilltop,
yes,
and had a private audience with the former president. I can say to you categorically that consultations were made. For him to cry out at this particular time, he is not crying wolf.
But we were not there. We don't know what they discussed. Should we conclude that way?
No, I'm not even alluding to what they discussed.
Okay.
I'm not alluding to what they discussed, but I do know that for him to have come out to make such a categorical statement, and the statement he made came in form of an advice. It came in form of an advice. He said that if you are waiting for the armed forces to do something about this, then every one of you will die one by one.
And I said we should defend ourselves.
Defend ourselves. What does it mean to defend yourself? Defend. He didn't say attack. He said defend. Defend would mean that you are threatened. Defend would mean that someone has tried to trespass into your own environment, into your own area, as it were. While he was making that statement, he said the peace of Taraba is being assaulted. I'm quoting him verbatim. He said the peace was being assaulted. Mm-hmm. If the peace was being assaulted, and he says, defend yourselves, instead of waiting for the government. Now,
do you know that some people will take that to mean that, hey, fight back if they come? And that might be, because he cited Somalia. He talked about Somalia.
Yeah.
That if unchecked violence, it will drift towards what happened in Somalia. Does that not is it not sending a signal that, hey, if they come, fight, kill? Does it not sound that way?
No, it doesn't.
Okay,
let me tell you why.
What that means to you, that statement.
Let me tell you why. You arrive at conclusions based on what is on ground. All right? Let's even relate it to the recent happenings with the girls who were kidnapped.
Yes.
All right? We had the issue of Chibok, and we all said never again, we won't allow it happen, we were assured by the authorities and all that. But then you hear information coming out that says that just before the girls were kidnapped, an instruction was given for the military to withdraw from that particular area. All right? And then the kidnap happens. They are brought back. Again, when they are being brought back, the military is withdrawn from that particular area, and then the girls are delivered. Question: where does such instructions come from? If he says that there is collusion with the military, again, as I pointed out, it has to do with individuals. Unfortunately, the armed forces is an institution, but that institution is made up of individuals. Tying all of them with the same brush really does not help the matter. Now, as you said, is it a question of him calling for anarchy? No, it's not.
But the present minister has said that, Minister of Defense, he said that this is calling for an anarchy, and the federal government supported that. Is it not calling for one?
No, it's not.
Because they've said we should disregard what he said.
No, it is not. Again, the fact and reality on ground, it seems as if, well, whatever assumptions, whatever conclusions you want to draw, it seems as if the military is handicapped.
Are you saying they're not professional in their duties?
No. It's not a question of questioning their professionality. No. It seems as if they are handicapped. Why? Because the average soldier, be it a soldier in the Navy, the Army, or the Air Force, he obeys instructions. He doesn't question instructions. There are certain cadre of officials that are given the responsibility of passing these instructions. So irrespective of whether they believe in the instruction or not, they are duty bound to carry it out. And in being duty bound to carry it out, it might not be to the favor of the average Nigerian. Now, killings have been happening. People have been killed. Men, women, children. If T.Y. Danjuma says, defend yourselves, instead of when you are attacked, you're waiting for the armed forces to come to rescue you, do something to defend your family.
Because you remember that he said that what is happening is the armed forces are aiding attacks by the bandits. Do you think, because I want us to look at that statement, some people have said this is political. Someone somewhere, T.Y. Danjuma, just want to cause a disagreement or want to cause a disunity amongst the people, trying to give the Nigerian armed forces a bad name.
I don't agree.
Okay, we'll go on this break, and when we come back, we'll have a guest joining us in this discussion. We'll go on a quick break. We'll be right back.
SuperDawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen Television. Let your voice be heard. Join us.
Welcome back. Well, we have a guest joining us in this discussion. Onyekachi Adekoya is a consultant and security expert. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Vera. Thank you for having me.
Yes, we're looking at the security challenges. I'm basically trying to look for solutions, how to solve it. But we want to also dive into General Danjuma's comment that has been creating loads of talks in the country. Before we went on that break, before you came in, we were talking about looking at it. I asked Achibong, do you think these comments are not inciting the people against killing each other? You wanted to answer that?
I was going to say that I didn't think it was.
Okay.
You have to look at the fact of them existing in the environment, as it were. All right? People are being killed to the point of desperation where it looks as if there is no help. To the point of desperation where it looks as if there is no help. At this particular time, as I said before, it was an advice he was offering. A counsel. Now listen, if you are waiting for the armed forces to come to defend you, then each and every one of you will die one by one. That is the perspective.
Is it not harsh coming from a military, former defense minister, a military general in the army one time? But let me ask Onyekachi Adekoya this question. Looking at the comment,
yes.
Someone said that this comment is feeling seemingly on ending killings. Do you believe that?
No. No. So thank you for having me, first of all. I think just what Achibong was saying, I think there's some research report that shows that within the first 10 weeks of this year, we've had about 1,375 people die.
Yes.
If you look at this against the backdrop of the Agatu killings, where there are still contentions as to how many people died, we're looking at about over 500 people died. If you also look at the most recent killings that almost turned Benue upside down, the Logogoma killing, at least on the average, you're looking at about 73 people. Not too long ago, you're looking at about 40 people killed in Enugu. Just yesterday, there were reports of some skirmishes in Ogun. And
also in Delta
last week.
Yes.
Ibadan. I know that a lot of things are brewing in Ibadan. Now, don't forget that not every news comes out to the fore. So if you look at the pedigree of somebody like General T.Y. Danjuma, someone who's been a former chief of defense staff,
yes.
Minister of Defense. I think in Nigeria today, aside General Obasanjo, General Gowon, I think the next most senior person will be General T.Y. Danjuma.
Yes.
So I don't think the government should be in a hurry to discountenance what he has said. On the contrary, or to the contrary, I think that government should raise an investigative panel and look into those allegations of collusion that he has raised. Yes. Remember, he's worked in the military for over 30 years, thereabout. He can't wake up tomorrow and begin to cast aspersions. I don't want to think T.Y. Danjuma is a politician. He's one of those people you consider a clear technocrat and a well-respected person. So,
a former chief of army staff, actually.
A former chief of army staff, too. Yes. So, T.Y. Danjuma doesn't make the news every day. That's the main issue government should be interested in. It doesn't make the news every day. So for him to come out and make these allegations, it calls for a more sober and coordinated response from government. There should be an investigative panel. I grew up in the barracks. So we hear banters around the barracks. So some of these things he has said, it's not the first time we are hearing it. So I think that the government should take a critical look at the issues raised by T.Y. Danjuma and look for ways to address them. That would be my personal
Some people have said that this happened because there's going to be a coalition, and maybe, I'm just saying what some other people are saying.
Yes.
Maybe this man is tired of this government. But looking at incessant killing in Nigeria, do you think we should be looking, putting blames on the military? What do you think we need to do as a people?
you know, the last time I was here, we talked about collective responsibility for security.
As a people.
As a people. Now, dimension the comments. He's called people to defend themselves.
Yes.
He's not called people to arm themselves. However, in the principle of self-defense, you must use force as force becomes necessary, which is where the government is saying it may result to anarchy. If in the act of defending myself, somebody comes against me with a club, I need to respond with a club, not with a cutlass. But if I'm being killed, as it were, or my life, I'm in imminent danger or threat of loss of my life, by somebody who is wielding an assault rifle, the call to self-defense would mean that I must also match that force with lethal force, which is why some say that he may be calling people to anarchy. But the issues are there. They are there, they are real, they are every day. Sorry, you know, I was just talking before coming here, discussing with some colleagues. There's pressure. Land is becoming a scarce resource. And there's pressure of deforestation from the south going inwards. There is pressure of desertification from the north coming inwards. The fight for land and space is around the center part of Nigeria. That's why you now see that the semi-arid and the sub-humid regions of Nigeria are becoming Niger State, Plateau State, Benue, Enugu, Delta, Kogi, Kwara.
Yes.
Because there are pressures. And I think the biggest fight we have before our hands is a fight of resource control.
Okay. Looking at what you have said, what you've analyzed, because I want to look at all of the killings, not just the headsmen, not just the Boko Haram. We have ritual killings. You have killings just everywhere in Nigeria. Looking at this, T.Y. Danjuma has said we should defend ourselves. If you come with a knife, and you want to come and attack me in my domain, are you saying I should just smile? Is that what he was trying to tell us? Fight back. Was that what he was trying to tell us? Because I'm not going to smile when you come, but you know, if you now fight back, the Constitution does not permit you to fight back. You're supposed to report. But someone called during the program yesterday and said that he was in this village in Benue State where these people were attacking. The army was not too far away from where this happened, but they didn't just bother. Could it be that these people have been bought by some group of persons in the country? I
heard the conjectures. I heard the could it be, but then I think some of those statements are...
No, we were just looking at this.
Rather, they are not...
That's why I said maybe some people are trying to hijack.
No, but the army came out the other day and said clearly they are not equipped or resourced to cover the total landmass of Nigeria. At least the defense, the information, somebody from the army came on air, said we don't have enough people, as it were, Nigeria.
So but that is not their constitutional duty.
No, that is not even, it's correct.
It belongs to the police.
Yes.
Now, you see...
but they come in when the police cannot handle. That's why they come in.
No, but it looks as if the army is now the first call of option whenever there is a crisis, which is not supposed to be.
Absolutely.
It's not supposed to be. They are not trained to manage crisis. They are trained to go in, attack, and clear areas, as it were.
So are they not doing what they are trained for?
The armed forces is trained to kill.
Okay.
All right. That's the virtue of their training. All right. Now, in these different situations, you made a statement earlier on, and you said you're looking at all the killings.
Yes.
But then the truth of the matter is that all the killings, are they on the same level in terms of security threats? No, they are not. Adekoya just reeled out certain statistics when he was talking. And in the statistics that he gave to you, most of what he talked about had to do with the headsman killing. Because it has become a thing of concern. It has become a thing of concern because the lives that have been lost have become too many. Even one life would have been too many, as it were. But when you're talking in terms of the thousands, for what? When you hear a General T.Y. Danjuma speaking, and again, as he noted, Over the years, General T.Y. Danjuma has been a very taciturn person. He doesn't speak out of turn. You hardly ever hear that he's in the news. Rather, for one who has served his fatherland the way he has, he is always in the background, pushing and doing the things that he needs to do. So for him to come out to make such a categorical statement, it means that it should get the attention of everyone, including the institutions that are involved. While I was talking earlier on, I alluded to the fact that who are those in power? Talking about the ethnic group as it were. We are the ones who are in power. And so our brothers and sisters, because in the Nigerian context, our brothers and sisters seemingly seem to be able to get away with anything that they do. Have any arrests been made since this killing started? Are they saying that they are not known?
Some have been made.
Some have been made.
Yes.
Okay, I agree with you that some have been made. The other day, there was a response from, what do they call them, the Meyati, Allah Meyati guys. And they said, listen, the law that was constitutionally made by a state government would not be respected unless it was put down or unless it was put aside in favor of what it is that they wanted.
So are you saying that this government is allowing, with the way they are running things, is allowing these killings, allowing this? Are you saying? No, I wanted you to. Are you saying that they are allowing this happen in Nigeria?
That would be too categorical a statement to make, given that there are limited facts that I have as an individual.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that categorically, but I would say that it seems as if there is some kind of collusion going on, okay, according to what T.Y.
Let me also ask the same question, but in a different dimension.
Yes.
Looking at all of these killings and looking at what Danjuma has said, this cause for his concern. You said that earlier on.
Correct.
And the government is saying this is anarchy. They are looking at right now. If the government is saying this, do you think there will be a solution? Because we really need solutions to all of this.
Okay,
and I'm sure Danjuma wants solutions.
Yeah, so for you to get to the solution,
yes,
what
can we do now?
You must look at the source of the threat. What is driving this madness? You need to come back. So, as security experts, we can talk security, talk strategies, talk tactics, but we need to go to root cause
of it.
The Mietiala, don't forget, they're a pressure group. And when any politician is contesting elections, he will go to them for their votes. And they will make agreements and arrangements to say, please give me your vote, I will support your interests. What is the interest of the Mietiala? They want to be able to herd their cattle, crisscross the grazing routes freely, safely, and do their business profitably. They're an interest group. The issue of herdsmen farmers didn't start today. Mm-hmm. Sometime in 1950, there was a certain Hamisu Kano who was about vaccination. He observed that the cattle rearers and the farmers were most likely going to crash or clash. It is said by report that 83.6% of all arable lands in the north are being farmed by sedentary farmers. So the government, I think in 1965, they enacted the grazing reserve law in 1965. Way back as 1965, the projection was that they were going to need about 23.4 million hectares of land. That didn't take place until much later when they formalized, I think around 1970 something, and they now formalized with 2.3 million hectares of land for grazing reserves around Milorin, Bauchi, Katsina, that axis, some parts of Kogi. Now, where is the pressure coming from? The grazing reserve that the Miyetti Allah have to breed their and rear their cattle, the land and the soil doesn't have enough nutrients to sustain life. When each, so they came up and said, I remember after the Blogoma issues, they came and they said that, Nigeria has 445 grazing reserve, I think. About 115 has been lost to desertification, population expansion. The remaining is doesn't have enough thing to sustain life. As at 1970, it would have cost the government $1 million. $1 million when dollars was $1 to $8 naira. $1 million to fully resource a grazing reserve. Now, 700 and something roads were supposed to have been. So let's look at the issues. Several dams were supposed to be built to keep them within that. That has not been done. We're not holding just this government responsible. We're holding successive government responsible for the failures in providing amenities as agreed to the headers. That, for me, first are the issues. Now, these headers don't have where to head their cattle. They need to roam around the fringes and the fodders of the grazing reserve, looking for foliage, looking for things for the animals to eat. There's Boko Haram in the northeast. You've taken out, it said on record that Borno State had the largest amount of livestock.
Yes.
Where are those livestock now? They can't herd in Adamawa.
Okay, so because of time, they've taken, now they roam around.
They are pressed for resource.
Then they will come to my land and forcefully take my land and possibly kill and rape my wife.
No.
Is that accepted?
No. That's not acceptable, and that's not what I'm standing for.
Okay.
Remember that the primary responsibility of government is to protect life and property. Apart from that, there are certain amenities that government must provide. Can we first go back to the main issues? What are the amenities that we need to provide for these headers to ensure that they stay far? Can we address the issue of the desertification? I'm coming to security. Remember that you can win a battle but lose a war. You can deploy systems, weapons. If you will still come back, what is the source of the risk?
So we need to fix all of these amenities.
The main issue is that there is pressure right now on land, arable land. There is pressure. From the south, we are building. Developers are not even helping. If you fly into Lagos from the sky, you won't see any greenery. We are building pressure up this way. Desertification, Boko Haram is building pressure up this way. We are bottled up in a small space right in the middle.
So because of this pressure, is that why they are taking arms? Archibald, do you support what he's just said?
I disagree.
I didn't say that that's the reason why they're taking arms or supporting arms. I'm saying that's why you are having those instant clashes. Remember that it's reprisal. Reprisal. There are issues of banditry. There are issues of communal clashes. There are issues. Clashes. There's politics involved in this matter also.
Okay, but let me hear from him. You heard what he said.
The issue is killings. Situating it with what T.Y. Danjuma said.
Yes.
All right? He says, defend yourselves. Why? Because people are being killed. The armed forces is not providing the kind of response or cover that they are supposed to. The armed forces in this particular instance would also include the police. All right? The people are not being protected. And he is advising that, listen, the time has come for you to defend yourselves. Now, the government says that will lead to anarchy. I do not agree that it will lead to anarchy.
But he has told us that what started all of these things most likely is because of land and space.
We are in Nigeria. Nigeria has a lot of problems. Truth of the matter is that if every sector decided to blow up whatever it was that was causing or whatever they would say they have been marginalized about, then that means there will be no progress. Or there is no justification. No matter what the problems are, there is no justification for taking anybody's life.
I agree.
And that is the issue. They should not be allowed to. The government needs to take a stand. First of all, there has to be the political will, which seems to be missing. There has to be the political will to do something about this.
Was in the Nigerian army. You're saying he's not doing it the right way? No political will?
He was in the Nigerian army.
Yes.
He was also part of this pressure group that he has referred to. So where does his allegiance lie? Where does his allegiance lie? That is the question. Because at the end of the day, Nigerians are dying. But yet, no official word has come concerning those deaths. How long did it take him to get to Benue? There's body language.
So what do you think the government needs to do now? Because we need solution. I'll come back to you. You told us what we should start looking at, how to start solving this problem. What do you think we need to do now as it is?
Okay, so...
Because every day you wake up,
Yes.
there are killings in this country.
Yes.
How can this government solve this problem?
So firstly, I'd like to say that I do not stand for the killings. I'm strongly opposed to it. There's no basis for it. But where there is clear lack of leadership, there has to be an arbiter between the warring factions. And no, it's not just a problem of this administration. It's a problem that's been there from a long time, and I dare say going back to the early 19th centuries. So government has to come down and look at the real issue of resource control, resource allocation. First, then all issues of criminality must be dealt with fairly, without any bias, and must be faced head on. So if it is said if a man steals in a bid to satisfy himself because he's hungry, then hunger was the main problem. But the stealing in itself is wrong. So we are agreed, yes, we are agreed. But I will leave the set, you will leave the set this morning. Some people are at the risk of losing their life today. Some most likely will die tomorrow and the day after. We most likely may hear of another Dapchi-style incident, and the madness will continue. Don't forget that even the Hausa Fulani herders, the herders themselves, are being affected by this madness. They are being affected. Everybody is being affected. Nobody is having it good.
So what do you want the government to do? Because actually said something now. I don't want to put it in body language.
I think the government must
it looks
come
as though
out.
the government is not. But the president has said,
yes,
if you're caught, they will take you to court.
So
he has said so.
You know, we said, like you said, yes, they arrested some people, but please, people are dying every day. I even dare say on national TV that the South is surrounded already by these headers. There are headers in every state, in Lagos State, in the West, every part of this country. They're everywhere. We don't have enough police, enough army. If, for example, the population of mass headers we have in the South decide that it's going to be all-out violence and anarchy, there will be such a destruction as we have not seen before. So what we are sitting on is a keg of gunpowder. And no, the government may not treat with kids' glove. Secondly, let's go ahead with the issue of state police. Oh, look at the governor in Benue who enacted a law. A law that lacks enforcement is not a law.
So what do we do? That's why you
you come
we
to
need
state
a solution.
police. And that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Government should face this matter head on. First, start with the issues around the grazing reserve. Around the grazing reserves. It was said and reported and alleged that some of the lands allocated for grazing in the north were not even good and arable land. Can we go back to those issues?
Okay.
Some of those grazing reserves need dams. They need roads. Can we go back to those issues? Show good faith to the herders. Carry them back. We're dealing with the issue of Boko Haram. It's going to take, if you...
But by going to those issues, do you think... Sorry.
I just don't want to lose this track.
Okay.
Borno State, Yobe State, and Adamawa State, that whole landmass makes up the size of some countries. So you've taken out that whole space where they cannot herd cattle. There's going to be pressure right in the middle of Nigeria. By 2050, our population is going to grow to about 350 million. Imagine there will be no more land in Lagos by 2050. There will be greater pressure for farming and resources. So we are sitting on this matter, thinking no, it's terrorism, no terrorism. Deal with the issues surrounding land allocation, land use, and land optimization.
Okay, let me ask, because we'll soon wrap up this edition, this program right now. Actually, you've heard what he said. Adekoya said that we need to look at some basic things. But this administration, President has said, if they get you, Fulani herders, with a gun, if they get you, they'll take you to court. You've said that it doesn't seem, it's not looking as though they want to handle this issue. How do you think they should act?
First of all, when he was just talking now, he made mention of the word bias.
Yes.
I'm led to say that even in his own conclusion, he seems to be biased towards the Fulani headsman. And let me say this. The Fulani headsman is not more Nigerian than I am. The same way he is a Nigerian is the same way I'm a Nigerian. All right? Now, what the government needs to do, as I said, call for a stop. Call for a stop to it. Let's start from there. And then be able to call for a roundtable conference, as it were, to look at part of what Adekoya has said. To look at part of it. But in looking at it, you don't just restrict it to the Fulani headsmen alone, but then involve other nationalities, as it were, so that at the end of the day, it is seen that you are not biased, but rather being fair in whatever solutions are being preferred. Once that is done, I believe that it will go a long way in curbing whatever it is that is taking place.
We want to wrap up this edition, but I want a final word from Nyekachi Adekoya. Final words.
Yes, so my final word would be that there has to be there has to be reform in the agricultural sector. I would like to propose for the government to, the same way they did for the telecoms and the banking sector, ask these herders to capitalize. If you make a big business, the thing now is that at the level where they play, they can afford land. They don't hold land. They are transients and they're travelers. So if you come up with regulations, say before you go into herding as a business, you must have minimum XYZ hectares of land. You must have minimum XYZ capital. Government has the anchor borrowers scheme.